She has brought millions. I wouldn't be surprised if it's billions of eyes onto the W and onto women's sports. She is a Kobe Bryant, and that's how Diana was. That's how Sue was. Like, we've had these types of people, but this is just bigger because the media platform is bigger than it ever has been. I don't have an ego, so I'm able to just tell the truth. Like, if it was someone else, I'd be like, yeah, like Angel Reese, she's also brought millions of fans. You know what I mean? I think Caitlyn has brought way more, but I also think she has too. Like, I'm just not naive, and I might be blonde, but I'm not fucking dumb. People who say I'm clout chaser, no, I'm just being honest about why the league is where it is at. Give the girls the flowers, like, give it to them.
The truth is finally spilling out, and it's coming from someone who's never sugarcoated a single word. Sophie Cunningham has reached her breaking point after witnessing the WNBA continually disrespect the very athlete who reignited interest in the league. And this time, she's speaking her mind without restraint. What makes her support for Caitlin Clark so impactful isn't just her words. It's the fact that they're coming from someone who's been standing up for Clark long before it became the trendy thing to do.
If it wasn't for Sophie Cunningham's podcast, I never would have had this eureka moment. Sophie Cunningham came to the Indiana Fever in the offseason. She's been taking full advantage of every opportunity she's got. An opportunity on the court, ballin'. An opportunity to protect Caitlin Clark, did that. Off the court, endorsement deals. Off the court, advertisers are falling in love with her. We got Colin Cowherd saying, hey, Sophie, you want your own podcast? Sophie Cunningham says, sure, I'll take my own podcast. And what has Sophie Cunningham been doing on this podcast? Letting us in on some secrets? Yeah, I love that. Pulling back the curtain on some time? Yeah, I love that too.
This isn't just someone hopping on the Caitlin Clark train for attention or likes. This is Sophie Cunningham, the one who was giving Clark props while her own Phoenix Mercury teammates were supposedly stirring trouble in the locker room. The one who spotted the Clark effect long before it was the popular narrative and before the rest of the WNBA had the guts, or perhaps the sense, to call out what was happening right under their noses.
Why does everybody hate Caitlin Clark? And do you hate Caitlin Clark? Come on, talk
dude.
to me.
Absolutely not. I think that she's a gem. I didn't know her, but All-Star Weekend, we kind of bantered back and forth a little bit. And she's lovely. She has a lot of pressure on her shoulders, and I think a lot of people always have a lot to say with people they don't even know or shoes they've never been in. And for me, I think she's handling the pressure very well. She's doing a lot of great things for women's basketball, and I'm a fan.
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe. While most WNBA players were busy ranking Caitlin Clark as just the 9th best point guard, Sophie Cunningham was already calling her a rare talent and openly saying she'd love to share the court with her. And this wasn't after Clark had silenced every critic or shattered every record. It wasn't after the ratings boom or the sold-out arenas. This was back when Clark was still being singled out by jealous veterans who couldn't stand the light she was shining on a league desperate for relevance in her sophomore season.
When you see all this vitriol of people who cannot stand her, it's like, okay, well, what has she done wrong?
Yeah.
She's a great basketball player, so you might not think it's fair that she's the face of the league, and that's understandable because there have been fantastic players in the WNBA for a long time. But Caitlin didn't disparage them. She just came in and kind of changed the game with her style. So I think it's one of those things where you have to say, okay, maybe I don't think it's fair based on the previous women who have been in this league, but it's not Caitlin's fault. All she's done is elevate the game for all of us, and I think instead of being pissed off about that, you should be appreciative of that and say, maybe it's not fair, but it's not your fault.
And I get other players, like they've worked hard and they've worked to build this league up over their time, and all of a sudden this young player comes in and now all the attention is on.
The numbers back up exactly what Sophie Cunningham recognized long before anyone else. When WNBA players voted for the All-Star lineup and somehow placed Caitlin Clark 9th among guards, even though she led all players with over 1.2 million fan votes. It exposed everything wrong with the league's mindset. Dick Vitale nailed it when he called it pure jealousy, and he wasn't exaggerating. But the truth is, Sophie had been pointing out that same envy long before the rest of the world finally caught on.
Time and time again, Sophie Cunningham has repeatedly been calling out the officiating. And what's one thing the WNBA holds over these players' heads? Ooh, I'm gonna fine you. Ooh, if you call out the officiating, I'm gonna fine you. The players say, no, I can't afford that. So they They keep it all hush-hush. But Sophie Cunningham, she's sitting on a pile of money. So when Kathy Engelbert hears her say something about the referees, Kathy says, here's a fine. And Sophie says, okay, here's payment.
Here's what truly sets Sophie Cunningham apart from the rest of the league. She gets the bigger picture. She understands the business side of the game. When Caitlin Clark's matchups pull in 2.7 million viewers, becoming the most watched WNBA game in a quarter century, you don't tear that down. You elevate it, you protect it, you build around it. Because Sophie knows this isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about the future, survival, and expansion of women's professional sports as a whole.
Fever saw it coming. They went and got Sophie Cunningham, 6-year-old black belt. This is what the Bulls did with Charles Oakley to protect Michael Jordan. And I said this last year several times. The WNBA is not a vertical league. Their players can't jump over each other to score like the NBA. It's a horizontal chippy league. And you didn't watch the NBA for the last 10 to 12 years. It has always been physical and always been chippy. You get into a lot of collisions because there's no Ja Morant here. There's no Ant Edwards. They don't jump over. It's a horizontal physical league. And Caitlin Clark now is like kerosene to the physicality flame. So you have physicality in this league, and now you get this flashy player, and they don't know how to officiate her. They don't know how to.
When Sophie joined the Indiana Fever in 2025, she immediately made her position clear. She has changed our game in the best possible way in every way. Cunningham told reporters, "I want her to go do her thing and anything she needs from me. I'm going to be here." This wasn't diplomatic speak or media training talking. This was genuine recognition from someone who had witnessed firsthand what happens when a league gets the gift of a generational talent. The most damning revelation came when Sophie exposed what was really happening behind closed doors during Clark's rookie season. "Even when I wasn't on her team, I know the talks Phoenix had in their locker room of like, we're going to show her what the W really is," Cunningham revealed on her podcast. This wasn't just competitive intensity. This was coordinated targeting of a player whose only crime was being too good too fast and bringing too much attention to a league that couldn't handle success.
I mean, she has changed our game in the best possible way in every way. And so just to be alongside of her and maybe relieve the pressure, being able to shoot and spread the court for her to go do her thing. She's still young, and I think that I've been taken under. Diana took me under her wing, and I've learned a lot from her, and now I hope to kind of do the same for Caitlin if she wants it. I just think the relationship piece is huge, and when you're trying to do something great, it takes everybody. And so I want her to go do her thing, and anything she needs from me, I'm going to be here. But again, I think that just the competitor that I am, I'm fierce, I'm sassy, I stick up for my teammates, stick up for.
But here's where Sophie's integrity shines through. She could have stayed quiet. She could have gone along with the crowd. She could have let the jealousy and resentment fester while pretending it was just rookie treatment. Instead, she chose to speak the truth, even when that truth made her former teammates and colleagues uncomfortable. Every rookie coming into the league will get some of it. Cunningham acknowledged, but there's just more for her. It's her second year now. Being on her team and seeing it, I'm like, what are people doing? It's just too much.
I know the talks that Phoenix had in the locker room of no, we're gonna prove her, we're gonna show her what the W really is. You know what I mean? And I get it to a certain extent. And every rookie coming into the league, that's how you're gonna treat them. But right. There's just more for her. So it's her second year, and now being on her team and seeing it, I'm what are people doing? Actually, it's just too much. Yeah. And it's just. I'm over. And if I'm saying it's too much, then it's probably too much.
No, that's so fair.
That's fair, right?
When someone with Sophie's experience and perspective says it's too much, the situation has crossed the line from competitive intensity into something much darker. The pattern of disrespect that Sophie has been witnessing extends far beyond hard fouls and cheap shots. It's systemic, it's cultural, and it's destroying the league's greatest opportunity for growth. When Clark was poked in the eye by JCS Sheldon and then shoved to the ground by Marina Mabry, the referees somehow assessed Clark with a technical foul while her attackers got minimal punishment. That's when Sophie decided enough was enough. With 46 seconds left on the clock when Sheldon made a steal and headed for what should have been an easy layup, Sophie delivered a message that resonated far beyond the basketball court. She grabbed Sheldon and dragged her to the floor, triggering an altercation that would change everything. Within 24 hours, Sophie's social media following exploded from hundreds of thousands to over 1.2 million across platforms. This wasn't just viral fame. This was vindication for everyone who had been watching Clark get abused while the league turned a blind eye. "I didn't do that for clickbait," Cunningham explained. "I stand up for my teammates." But the fan reaction told a different story about what was really happening. People weren't just celebrating Sophie's defense of Clark. They were celebrating the fact that someone finally had the courage to do what the league should have been doing all along, protecting their most valuable asset.